Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Anime Night in the Dojo. Today's featured show, Slime, Season 4.
Slime, Season 4, Episode 9. Welcome back to the Dojo. I'm Ryu. Age is down there somewhere. We're back for Anime Night in the Dojo, and well, we're back down to one episode of Slime a week because we've officially caught up, and remember that thing we talked about last week, how we like to have like that 2-week buffer of like, we do this episode and usually the next time's episode is already dubbed and we're good. Well, we're already pushing up against the dub wall because I assumed episode 10 would be done by now as per the release schedule that had been going, and it's not. So we're already at that stage of well, if there isn't Slime next week, it's because episode 10 hasn't been dubbed yet. So that's just a heads up for you guys. So I'll have to point that out every time now because we usually have that buffer, and it's already gone, and it's gone. So there's your heads up for that. Last time Gobta got a gun, stuff that they don't need for 900 Alex, but it's still kind of cool. And all the greed stuff that we talked about, yay. We don't really need to rehash everything. I want to see what's up with the Dark Elves that are supposed to be extinct. That's my question. So that's about all I've got going into this one. So if there's no Slime next week, Slime's going to be holding it out on Mondays for the foreseeable future. We don't know if by the time Core 2 starts airing, if they're already will be close to being done with Core 3 and stuff like that, because once again, 5 core series wrap up is what they're doing here. For season 4 will be 5 cores, but yeah, once again, that's going to be about half the series. But we don't know where the hiatuses are come. Maybe they'll do 2 core, then 2 core, then 1 core kind of deal, or by the time the end of the second core is done, maybe it'll only be a couple months till Core 3 starts, considering it's all full production. They're not waiting on source material. It's done.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to see what happens. But Slime is going to be holding down the Monday slot for the rest of the year as it stands, based on the fact that we still got 19 some odd more episodes to go, and so the better part of the rest of this year, Monday will be Slime, and we'll just have to see if Core 3 comes out by the end of the year. Who knows? We don't know. But yeah. So Slime is back down to 1 episode a week till it ends, and then if it continues, then it'll continue on Monday. If not, then we'll just give it back to Monday when the 3rd core starts. But we'll just have to see. But we're already pushing up against we've pushed past our buffer zone, unless episode 10 releases in the next couple days, then we'll be okay. But if I'm going to be staring at it next Friday going, man. Then we'll just have to see what happens. But either way, I'm excited to see what's up with this place, the ruins. Whether or not this first core is just going to be will this first core, based on everything that's happened, will it wrap up the Maribel story, and then the next core will be something else, kind of like how last season it was the Holy Night stuff, and then that gets resolved, and then it was the next stage of the Tempest stuff with the festival and whatnot being what that was, that kind of thing. So this might be Maribel, and then whatever happens after Maribel, I don't know. But yeah, it seems to be what this is trending toward, is being resolved now, because they're playing their ace in the hole with the whole Chaos Dragon thing that's shown in the OP. You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see what happens. So we're going to push some buttons and get going here. So people on Patreon, we'll see you on the other side of the edit for the timer reaction, and people on YouTube Beyond, we'll see you on the other side for the discussion and review, and all the links are down there in the description. I restarted my Twitch stream for our older stuff that was from our previous channel, the old stuff that got bonked, but I got back, but once again I had to make private for the copyright reasons, just in case. So all that stuff will be going 24/7 on Twitch for Dojo TV. For all of our older stuff, for people who haven't seen it. When I'm not live streaming, like Hitman on Fridays with 47, that kind of thing. Any other day I do stream, but my stream schedule is not going to be as rigorous as it once was. So, at most, I'll probably be only doing 3 days a week, maybe 4 sometimes, but definitely not 5 days a week to do. So anytime I'm not live, all of our old anime reactions and stuff will be there for people to watch and check out. So all that's there if you want to check it out. So we're gonna push some buttons and get going. So there goes some. Well, alrighty then. There you guys have it. People are still living down here, and by people I mean dark elves, and by dark elves I mean apparently the ones that Kazalim was a part of back in the day. So long ago that she was part of the people who got exiled after Malim tried to resurrect her baby dragon friend. So Kazalim has been around for quite some time.
Well, we know Kazalim was a dead man, which they are functionally immortal and dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was the clear implication there, is that Soma was the civilization that Malim wiped out when she was trying to resurrect the Chaos Dragon.
Yep.
We knew she wiped someone out. We just didn't have any information as to who it was in the brief bit of the like myth that we got when Rebrew found out about it.
Yeah. So we got a little bit more on that. Once again, I would have loved to see Shion use certain outcome on this lock. I mean, like I said, it's just full quagmire. If anybody knows that Family Guy comedy sketch, it's just, how did you match the lock? I didn't. I just stuck it in there and broke it. Of course, it was a penis joke, but, it's what it is. But certain outcome, I mean, she could have probably broken the lock, and because that's what certain outcome is. It breaks the rules. We saw what certain outcome did to the freaking Crusaders magic last season, so why not this lock? It's just another form of magic. You know what I mean? So I can't imagine it wouldn't have worked.
She would have definitely been able to break the barrier, bare minimum. It's just a question of whether or not she would have triggered the trap.
Yeah.
But once again, her whole thing of certain outcome is that she breaks the rules, so therefore, in theory, if she broke a trap, it would break the rules of the trap.
Yeah, so that would have been something, but either way, it just turned into Rimuru showing off because Raphael is hacks and we all hate her. But yeah, this was some pretty visually impressive stuff going on with friggin' Ainz would be jealous of all these circles. Ainz and Megumi would have a field day with this if this was part of Isekai Quartet.
I mean, Ainz would look at this and scoff to himself that they only used 3 spells to protect something so important.
Right. But either way, it was visually impressive for a locking system. I got to make a Fryren joke. Fryren probably would have taken a couple weeks to break through this kind of thing. Saw her doing that in the last season, Fryren. But props to the rest of the team for being super okay with Rimuru doing his thing. I mean, how else are you going to learn? Just let the slime wallow in self-pity for a moment, and then, it's serious business when the fogged glasses girl, you actually get to see her face. You know what I mean? The stereotype of this kind of character here, whenever you get to see her actual face, it's serious business. Like when Gien from Bleach actually opens his eyes. That's those kind of characters. That's when it's serious business.
Yeah, which once again, these are just a bunch of actual adventurer archaeologists. None of them are malicious or in on it in any way. Kagali's the only one who's even aware that there's any sort of plot against Rimuru here, and like we were talking about towards the end of the discussion, she's really not aware of that much of the plot. All she knows is that there's some sort of plan to split Malim and Rimuru up, and her part of the plan was supposed to be to trigger the defenses against Rimuru.
Right, which the defenses weren't really that impressive. Let's be real, a bunch of golems. I mean, they were taken down by Gobta's side piece. So,
yeah.
If Shion and Ranga went all out, they probably would have been, not even less of a big deal. But they're toning it down because, as per the majority of this discussion here, when they were talking about preserving the ruins and whatnot, Rimuru didn't even want to set a fire down here. So I assume they were all listening to him saying, hey, we can't have collateral damage down here, especially in the lowest level, whatever is going on down here. You know what I mean? So, it was another kind of solid thing across the board. These kind of murals are always interesting when it comes to just things of written history, or you see it in like ancient cultures like Egypt and stuff like that, especially. that tell a story of, the nation, whatever it may be. Sometimes it's like a prediction wall, kind of like how what they did with, like, I always bring up God of War because it's so good and how it does it, but like in the Norse God of War is where it had all the giants predictions, like in stuff like on what do they call it? Like petroglyph walls, basically, right?
Hieroglyphs, or I forget what the other term for it is, but there's a bunch of different kinds of murals.
Yeah, I think in the Norse mythos, when like the cabinets that Kratos would open and Atreus would like take note of them, they were like triptychs or something. But this is the same kind of thing. This with just the history of Soma and what became of it when Malim did her thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the from what we hear of Cogali's recollections, and based on Malim's reaction to this, the right side seems to be depicting the Chaos Dragon's emergence after Malim destroys Soma, right. And then the left side is their exodus from Soma to here.
Yeah. So this was pretty neat. I appreciated that for what it was. So it's also kind of interesting to note stuff like, you always kind of forget that Rimuru just keeps stuff in his stomach. That was something that happened in the early seasons, where he would just like, here's just a barrel of potion, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff, or whatever it is. He just kind of, it's no different than kind of like, bring up campfire cooking, kind of like the item box skill, except it's in his stomach.
Yeah, it is actually very similar to the item box skill, because it does keep things in a state of pseudostasis. It's basically just a whole entirely different pocket dimension with the way his gluttony skill is. Like, it's not just a normal slime stomach. He has the gluttony unique skill that literally gives him a full-on pocket dimension. Yeah,
I mean that's where Veldora was until they broke the seal. That's where what's his name, Ifrit is still in there. You know what I mean? It'd be interesting to see if they ever do something with Ifrit, but. It's
I know one of the things that we apparently skipped is that there is like actually a recurring subplot of Ifrit and Veldora like conversing for a while in there, and then like Ifrit eventually like interacting with some of the other denizens as well. So I don't know if he ever makes it out.
Oh yeah. But either way, a lot of interesting stuff going on in here. Shion is apparently able to make normal tea now. I guess she figured it out after the whole Diablo thing, so that's something.
Diablo probably kept her there for like a week of just infinitely retrying until she got it right.
Yeah. So she is not making Mystery Food X, which my Persona cookbook finally came in and they put Mystery Food X in there, and I was looking at the ingredients and I was like, I'm not making this. I'm not doing it. I might do something like they have a couple of the drinks from like P5R, where you go have like the drink bar and you have like the quality time event and you get like the really, like, if anybody's ever gone to like a specialty bar and they do those like really intricate and cool, like they're kind of like martini drinks or like mixed drinks and stuff like that, and they have like cool name like Amaretto Sunset or something, and then they drop like a thing into it, it kind of like explodes into like a bunch of colors and stuff like that, those kind of crazy intricate drinks that take like a massive amount of effort to make. There's a couple of those in there. That'd be kind of cool to make that. They put the Akechi one in there, the like the green mint one that kind of has like that like Green Mountain vibe to it. That was pretty cool. But just maybe Shion will eventually have her own like some sort of Tempest drink. The Great Rimuru cocktail or whatever.
I mean, once again, because of her skill, she could technically cook anything and make it edible. It's just about whether or not it's presentable.
Right.
So she could come up with totally original drinks that no one's ever heard of or could even recreate, because it wouldn't be edible if anyone else made it.
Yep. So that would be something. But either way, the rest of this was cool. I appreciated the backstory. We got everything on the Dark Elves that I wanted. You know what I mean? So there's no notes there. That answered my question of like, so what happened? Now here you go. Alrighty.
Yeah,
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's just all that's left is just the group of dark elves that Clayman had that like briefly got mentioned, that he had like some of them as slaves.
Yeah. But either way, it will be interesting to see going forward what happens here. Again, no matter what happened, once again, this is one hell of a face. I mean, you guys know what this reminds me of initially? Is you guys know that like dragon meme where it's like the 3 heads of the same dragon or whatever, and then sometimes when people are referring to something that's like derpy or stupid, it's not like the serious dragon face, but it's like the derp dragon face. That's what this looks like. It looks like the derp dragon face. So, but it's just like, man, just looking at that, it's just like, yeah. Sure, it's a zombie though, you know. So maybe we need to call the Guild Wars squad to deal with it like they do with Zaitan or something. But apparently the Guild Wars squad is going back in time because Guild Wars 3 is going back 1,000 years or some crazy nonsense like that.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Zaitan, yeah, the new Guild Wars is supposed to take place around the time of Ancient War before Zaitan sunk it.
Yeah, so maybe we'll see him lying around again. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Malim ends up doing here. You know, it is technically her problem. You know what I mean? The one thing that I did see that was kind of spoiled for me was that sequence right there when Malim just kind of looks at Rimuru and is like, I need to go deal with something, and bails on him. The way that like the internet kind of framed it was like she abandoned Rimuru in his time of need or something. It's like, no, she just kind of went to go deal with a pretty serious problem.
Yeah, and I mean, as of the point where she disappears, the dragon is the only known threat. Anyways.
Yeah. So.
It's before any of the defense systems kick in or Maribel makes herself known or anything like that. It's just, there's an earthquake, there's a dragon, oh, I know this dragon, I'm going to go deal with it.
Yep.
Then the rest of hell breaks loose.
Right. Which, nobody talks anything out anymore. Hey, you should work for me. No, you should work for me. Your ideals are stupid. No, your ideals are stupid. Well, it's time to fight now. That pretty much sums up every war in the history of time.
So, same time next year?
Yep, pretty much. Just with different pawns. You know what I mean? Because you gotta redraft an army. Don't tell the Habsburgs that they have to wait for their kids to grow up. Maybe Enrique will have his 8th kid, you know, whatever it is. And he'll be an incompetent general, too. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up the history of Spain and Austria. But, yeah, that's... I don't even need to go into that anymore. That was the most concise I could possibly make that. That's exactly what happened here. That was it. Do I need to talk about anything else? Not really. That's what I thought.
And just once again, Maribel is misunderstanding Rimuru. Like I mentioned this during the ED, she interprets what Rimuru says as him thinking that, oh no, he's an equal. I'm just trying to blank on the freaking term for it. But she interprets it as that he believes, you know, everyone is equal and all that. When that's not what Rimuru is saying. Rimuru fully understands that people are not equal. Some people have more potential than others. His whole argument there is you can't step on people before you get a chance to see what their potential is.
Yep.
Which Maribel is basically just either you're strong enough to resist my control right now, or I'm going to control you for the rest of your life. That's basically how she sees everything.
Yep.
If you're not strong immediately, then you're never allowed to be strong in her ideology.
Yeah. Which she's cheating because she has the entire knowledge of her previous life. You know what I mean? So, on top of having the greed power and whatever else she is capable of doing. You know what I mean? So, that will be interesting to see what the plan is here, or whether Kigali is just kind of playing the fool and doesn't know what's going on with Yuki. But like Age mentioned at the end of the reaction, there is last time we saw behind closed doors for them, he must be playing it very close to the vest based on, you know, maybe Yuki doesn't want anybody to know that she's trying to control him. He's resisting it like I think he is. And he doesn't want it getting out that, even if Kigali knows, it would be a bad thing that it could come back to Maribel. Like, hey, we found out from one of Yuki's, associates that he's fucking with you. You're not actually controlling him. You know what I mean? That kind of situation.
Yeah, I imagine he is just full selling it. That he is playing it as if she has full control over him and not giving any sort of anything away to anyone, even someone as trusted as Kigali. Because, yeah, she clearly has, no idea what the actual plan is here. And last time we saw them talking behind closed doors where there is no, false pretenses between them, he told her specifically that he wasn't going to be here.
Yeah. So, completely contradictory. Don't know who these other two nerds are, but one of them kind of looks like that zombie that Akuro fights in the Clayman arc. But, clearly not a zombie, totally a guy of some kind. So, we'll just have to see what their deal is. But, yeah, I mean, obviously Rimuru is isolated technically, but Gobta and Shion and Ranga are there, so...
Yeah.
And once again, he has the Summon Storm Dragon skill. So...
Yeah, they don't know about the Summon Storm Dragon skill, and it's been a recurring thing of everyone underestimating the higher-ups of Tempest. Everyone just thinks that it's all about Rimuru, Maline, and Veldora.
Right.
Most people don't even realize that Robbie Riss is involved at all.
Right, yeah.
And they all, more or less totally discredit the Elite Four, as they're referred to now, in their own powers. And that's why you get situations like Shuna manhandling the guy in the freaking council meeting the other day.
Right. It's, the only ones that really, even with their, reporters that, Rain was a part of last season with the Diablo stuff, they just know that he was a demon. It's not, only the demon hunters knew who he was, and it's not like they told the reporters, hey, that's Primordial Black. You guys need to be, supremely worried about this. They just, like that one reporter, he was like, hey, Mr. Demon, what do you want us to write? That kind of thing. Just, write the facts. That's it. They just saw him as a demon that saved him, and that was it. They don't know that he's freaking Black Progenitor.
Yeah, which as far as we know, the demons are weaker than, the true dragons. But they're still a progenitor race.
Yeah.
And have been around since this world was created.
Right.
So they are extremely strong.
So yeah, it's just one of those misunderstandings leading to underestimation. And even with all the information that Yuki does have on Rimuru, he's probably underestimating a lot of the, the Elite Four, Benimaru, the whatever they're called now, the Oni, whatever they've evolved to now at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I believe they're all Oni except for Shion, because she's Wicked Oni. She had the special classification because she met different requirements than the other ones.
Yeah. It was kind of like that in Slime Diaries. The one of the more hilarious one-liners that got me was just like, Shion is trying to acquire Purple Empress by Raphael, and it's just like, stop her. Nobody wants that. Are you crazy? But yeah, it's, I think a lot of people underestimate even some of the even at this point the factions below the Oni, even somebody like Gobta with its fusion with Ranga is going to be pretty serious problems for even a group of A to S rank adventurers. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, once again, Gobta is technically part of the Elite Four.
Yeah.
Even if he is clearly a lot weaker than Diablo or the Oni.
Yeah.
He is still technically part of the Elite Four.
So it will be interesting to see how this situation plays out, whether we get any information on these two nerds up here. We'll just have to see. but you know, it should be an interesting sequence, an interesting couple episodes based on everything that's going on here. I can't imagine the Maribel stuff will go past this core. It's going to be over. You know what I mean? In the next 3 episodes, it should be able to wrap it up based on the pacing and tempo and stuff like that. So,
it is possible that she escapes and becomes a longer-lasting villain, but chances are, one way or another, this is getting resolved. Which I'm less inclined to think that Brimmer manages to bring her around. But once again, she is still also continuing to misunderstand Rimuru when they're a lot more like-minded than she realizes.
Yeah. But this might be one of those situations where talking never occurs, you know what I mean? And it'll be interesting to see like what Yuki is up to, you know. But we already know the overarching details of what he's trying to do, but you know, he's kind of like on the back burner of like, we don't want to get in Rimuru's way at the moment. You know what I mean? So
I imagine if she dies, one of the most likely cases is this plan goes south. The Chaos Dragon gets like resealed by Malim or something, and Yuki backstabs Maribel.
Yeah.
And tries to like blame it on Rimuru or something.
Right. Either way, that's pretty much all I got for this one.
And/or I'm still, fairly convinced that this whole thing is a long-term ploy by him of, well, I've just been doing everything under Maribel's control this whole time, and I'm definitely not evil or against Rimuru.
Right, yeah. You just blame it all on that, and then, kind of reset his sus level, basically. So, either way, another solid episode, I kind of want one of those sandwiches, so I'm probably going to go make some food after this. So, you got anything else for this one, Age?
Yeah, no, with the Kagali thing, I still think that there is some level of him, like I said, trying to sell it, and or trying to also use it was just under Maribel's control for her as well, because from what we got from Kagali, I don't think she would have been willing to put the ruins as at risk as they actually are with the Chaos Dragon here.
Right.
Like, she was fine with the whole, I'll just turn the defenses on Rimuru, and then whatever your plan is, we'll deal with them. But I do believe she was genuinely shocked and upset about hearing that the Chaos Dragon was here, because if that goes south, that means the ruins are toast.
Yeah.
Along with the remnants of the Dark Elves.
Yeah. So, kind of a problem. So, anyway, that's all we got for this week. Once again, if there's no slime next week, it's because the dub didn't show up. So hopefully it shows up at some point, and we'll just be on the 1 week train. If we have to skip a week again to reset or something, it is what it is. But that's why we like to have that 2 week buffer, that extra week buffer, should I say. But apparently we already ran through that. Unless it comes out in the next day or so, then it would be okay. And then be like still kind of like in the same like 2 week buffer. But yeah, the last episode came out on Friday for the dub last time, and we're on Saturday now, and 10 still hasn't come out yet. So we'll just have to see what happens. So if there's no slime next week, we'll just see everybody when episode 10 gets its dub. So there you guys have it. So, ladies and gentlemen, people of YouTube, beyond whoever you're watching, as always, we appreciate you stopping by and hanging with us here in the dojo for more anime in the dojo. And this was Slime, Season 4, Episode 9. So have a good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it is for you. Have a good one. See you next time.
Hey everyone, Victoria here. If you enjoyed the video, please consider pushing those like and subscribe buttons. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thanks again for your time, and we hope to see you again in the future.